Hey Geek, so if you're brand new to the world of real cameras, then congratulations. It's really an exciting thing to get a camera because you're gonna learn a lot of different things. And one of the things you're gonna have to learn is, well, what else do I buy for my camera? And the number one thing that you're gonna get for this camera is a lens. Because at the end of the day, the lens is what really separates a real camera versus the camera that you actually get with your phones. And so in this case, it could get very confusing, complex, and also expensive. But today, I'm going to be talking about the one lens that basically you should always have. And it's also going to be the best budget lens that you could get. And that lens is a Nifty 50. So you're probably wondering what that means, but I'm going to explain it to you in real general terms. And so the lens I'm using right now is a Nifty 50. And what that means is it has a focal length of 50 millimeters. And if you don't know what that means, I'm going to explain to you what that means real quick. And then after that, it has an aperture or f-stop of 1.8. And if you don't know what focal length means, just to keep it in real simple terms, the lower the number, the wider the field of view. The higher the number, the more narrow or zoomed in the actual view is. So that's what the 50 means. And then nifty means, well, this lens has a lot of features, nifty benefits, especially for the price, because typically a Nifty 50 or 50mm lens is going to be probably your cheapest option. This one brand new is $250. You can get this used for around $200. And then the other really big selling point with getting a Nifty 50 is this f-stop or aperture. So if you actually see a lens with a small number, it actually means it has a larger aperture. And what an aperture is, whenever you look at your lens, there's like this iris, kind of like the iris or pupil of your eye, where it gets bigger whenever it lets more light in. The larger this number is, the smaller the aperture, so it lets less light in. And whenever you have a larger aperture, that means you're going to let more light in, and that means you're going to get a blurrier background or more bokeh whenever you're using these type of lenses. And another thing is, this Nifty 50 is a prime lens. So what does that mean? Well, typically, whenever you buy your camera, you normally have an option to get a kit lens at a really good price. And for most people, they're going to be using a zoom lens. And that's what I use. And I think most people, that's going to be their primary lenses. And what does that mean? Well, it zooms to different focal lengths. Okay, so a prime lens, it's only in one focal length, which is 50 millimeters or whatever prime lens that you buy. In this case, a zoom lens, this kit lens can go from 28 to 70, so from 28 millimeters, which is wider, to 70, which is a lot closer and more narrow. And also, since this is a zoom lens, you're typically always going to have a smaller aperture. So this one, the maximum aperture you can get is f3.5 versus f1.8. So your overall blurry background or bokeh is going to be better with a prime lens versus a zoom lens. And so why should you get this lens? Well, the first thing is the price, as I just talked about. The second thing is, since you can have a higher aperture, a larger aperture, you're going to get a lot better blurry background and bokeh look. And then the other thing is, since it is a prime lens, it doesn't have to zoom in and out. It has less parts, so typically they're going to be a lot smaller and lighter as well. And then finally, with prime lenses, they're typically going to give you a better overall image quality, specifically when it comes to sharpness, because there are less parts in there. There's not as many lens elements. It's normally going to give you better overall quality. And those are my thoughts on the best budget lens that you should get at the beginning, the Nifty 50. I highly recommend that you get it. And about the only disadvantage I could see with getting this is that it doesn't zoom in and out. So you have to physically move your camera closer or further away. But at the same time, if you actually learn how to use these prime lenses like I am, you learn to really think about how you frame your shots and shoot your videos or photos. But at the end of the day, getting a real camera, it's a must for you to get a Nifty 50 in my opinion. And then you can actually learn more about how your cameras and your lenses work and then enjoy creating. So if you actually had any thoughts on this or any other lenses that you think you must have, be sure to leave in the comments area below. And if you did want to see more of my camera tutorials, tips, and thoughts, I do have an entire playlist. I'll leave that in the description area below or up here. For the best value in domain names, Check out Namecheap, where you could get a domain for less than $10, plus get privacy protection for free. For more information, check out the affiliate link in the description area below.